coming out on Marty's.
So let's see. So from right here, it'll be nice. Get the Electric Surge up. No, it'll be the Grassy Surge because Tapu Bulu is slower.
And the Intimidate.
The Intimidate will be nice, more against the Tapu Bulu than against the Persian. But right from the bat, I think it all kind of, again, as is VGC 17, until things kind of get standardized and you know what you're going to be seeing right now. But like for Marty, it looks like he has a safe option to go for something like, on his Tapu Koko, something like a Dazzling Gleam that'll be hit the Persian super effectively. Won't have to worry about Fur Coat, things like that.
And they're both faster.
And they are both faster, yeah. So Marty, the other nice thing about their Salamence against Tapu Bulu is that he seems generally safe. The grass type is 4 times resisted. Even with the grassy terrain up, Tapu Bulu is a beast, but it's not going to be hitting it that hard. So
I mean, it also has that fairy typing, but
yeah, that's true. But I mean, Tapu Bulu doesn't get any physical fairy moves. I think all it gets is Nature's Madness, which isn't only going to do 50% every time for those that don't know. So let's see.
Tapu Koko coming out with the Protect, probably expecting the Fake Out. And so, yeah, expecting the Fake
Marty's
Out.
probably just trying to protect himself from a Fake Out here. But instead we see a Parting Shot coming out from the Persian, goes into the Salamence, and we're going to see a Z move. Nice little Bloom Doom, it looks like, based from the Z, the dance. I'm starting to get those memorized now.
I'm surprised because I didn't know Gunnar ran Z move.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of a tournament. We get to find out along with the viewers what these sets are. So he's going to get a Bloom Doom, and for those that don't know, it does still do damage to Protect. It's reduced, but Tapu Koko's pretty frail. Yeah, that's not a bad chunk.
That wasn't too bad.
But the grassy terrain does come out, and Tapu Koko is going to recover a little bit of health. Kind of a dead turn here. Really all Marty learned is Tapu Bulu has a Z move, so he knows to watch out for that, and Persian has Parting Shot, and his target trying to get that Salamence. So,
yeah, I'm sure he's pretty worried about his Salamence right now getting Parting Shot. So we'll have to. It's like one of those games where, do I switch expecting something,
or can I still do enough damage through the Parting Shot? Well, I'm pretty sure Salamence. Is Salamence faster than a Alolan Persian? I know Alolan Persian's like base 110 or something. It's fast, so I don't really know which is naturally faster.
Salamence non-Mega, I think it's like 100 base speed, so I think Persian's faster.
Okay.
And I think Persians would typically just put more into speed.
Gotcha. Well, either way, Tapu Bulu's going to protect, while Tapu Koko goes for a Dazzling Gleam. Let's see how much that does to Persian. That's a clean 75%. And we do see the Parting Shot go into the Salamence. Basically what that's going to do is it's going to lower his attack and special attack by 1 stage, and Persian is going to get to swap out. It's a really nice defensive tech, and on a team like this that Gunnar's using, it's going to allow him to reshuffle his Pokemon, get a lot of drops and boosts and things like that, and kind of reset into a more advantageous position. He has some options about where he could go in. It all depends on what he has in the back, but something like bringing an Arcanine out would be even more disastrous for the Salamence, if only because it would get another Intimidate off and it would resist the Dazzling Gleam from Tapu Koko. He does also have maybe Goodra to try and get his own Dragon-type attacks off. But it will be interesting to see what the Salamence goes for and how much that does.
Yeah, these are the moments in time where I'm like, I wish I had a Rain Set. Because if Salamence has that Flamethrower, that would completely negate it out.
And it does.
But Melodic is good too.
Melodic is a good answer to that. We do see the Flamethrower go into the Protect while the grassy terrain heals. I think just Tapu Koko is the only one with damage. So we're seeing a lot of passive play right now while both players try to figure themselves out, which...
Well, Melodic was a pretty aggressive move, expecting Koko might target Melodic on top of Melodic can target Salamence.
That's a good point. And I forget, does Gunnar have Marowak on his team? No, he has Arcanine. He has Arcanine instead. I guess I could just look at the team sheet. We do have those. But yeah, you're right. Actually, that's a good point. Melodic is not going to enjoy a Discharge or a Thunderbolt, and really looks like he's baiting Marty into it. At the same time, though, he could easily protect his Melodic, bait the Electric-type attack, and go for a Wood Hammer onto Tapu Koko, finish it off. Salamence isn't going to do a whole lot with a Flamethrower. It's going to switch out to reset his stats.
Yeah, and Gastrodon won't be taking anything here unless Tapu Bulu,
Okay.
Into Goodra.
Alright.
Probably expecting a Protect coming out from Melodic.
But instead, Marty just goes for the Protect. I wonder if he did that predicting the Melodic to Protect.
Yep.
Alright, so it fails.
But it fails, so...
So both of these players, has the only attack we've seen so far been that Bloom Doom?
I think so, yeah.
Nice. That's good.
So Gunnar's winning.
Yeah, Gunnar's winning.
Grassy terrain is doing work right now.
Yeah, actually, but not for Gunnar. It's doing more work for Marty here. But that's kind of indicative. I mean, right now, I feel like teams are really really hyper offensive, doing a lot to get this damage out, or they're a lot more passive and trying to just slowly chip away, get that damage going. Yeah, we're going to see another switch.
He switches out the Tapu Koko. That's interesting. He had the typing war one right there. But I mean, Celestial, yeah.
So Melodic goes for Protect, probably expecting an electric attack. And the Gudra's going to go for a Sludge Bomb. All right, so that's a safe switch. The Ice Beam going onto the Gudra.
That's not going to do anything.
Actually, it does okay.
Especially with grassy terrain, too.
It's a Gudra. Yeah, that does. That is a good point. I wonder, though, is that AV? You think is that AV? I'm pretty sure he's running AV. Actually, excuse me, actually.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, either way, though, that's going to take a really long time for that Gastrodon to start doing anything. Celesteela could actually do okay, because Gudra's not very bulky on the physical side. Milotic here, though, is just sitting pretty. But the thing that scares me about Celesteela coming out is, are we going to have to commentate through Leech Seed Star Wars?
I mean,
are you prepared for that?
Gunner is that kind of player. Like,
no, not Gunner. Marty's going to be the one with
I know. I'm just saying, like, both. Gunner has the defensive strats, and then Marty has Mon.
He gets the freeze with the Ice Beam, and that actually does damage. Okay, so we're doubling the Celesteela. That's going to bring it around half. Frozen. Oh, but he gets the Thaw on the Leech Seed. Okay, well.
On the Melodic.
I feel like I've seen that happening a lot, that one turn.
I'm actually wondering why he Leech Seeded Melodic, because Gudra's the biggest threat here, so if he switches on Melodic...
No, he might not have realized that it had Thunderbolt, to be honest, but
yeah.
The other thing is he might think that... Because right now, defensively, Melodic isn't threatened by anything. Gudra is taking some damage from Ice Beam, and might feel inclined to switch out into something that could handle it, although really nothing can. Persian's not going to take it. Tapu Bulu definitely doesn't want to take one. So I think maybe Marty just imagined that the Milotic would feel more comfortable staying in, but that might have been before he realized that Gudra has Thunderbolt, which is doing, it's doing like a, not quite half, but a decent amount where if he just keeps doubling into it. Now I imagine that Marty will probably Protect to try and get more leftovers and Leech Seed recovery, while the Gastrodon just slowly chips away at the Gudra.
Oh man, this is actually what I thought he was going to do. Switch into Tapu Bulu. If he heavy slams into Tapu Bulu, that'll be the play. Because you think about it in the sense that, like, he knows that he's going to get a Thunderbolt off onto Celesteal.
Yeah.
So he's going to switch.
Right.
So you counter out to switch with an attack.
Right.
Because you know you're not going to die.
Yeah, and that would have been smart, but Marty did just decide to go for the safe Protect, get more chip damage off onto the Gudra. But now he's in a pretty bad spot. He reset the grassy terrain, so Gudra's going to be getting more health back still. Celesteela will only get leftover recovery this turn. And now it can only Leech Seed the Gudra, but what's really threatening for Marty is the Gastrodon having to deal with a Wood Hammer.
And anything he switches into, that slot too.
Well, Mence would take it fine.
Yeah.
Salamence would take it okay.
Four times resistance.
And it would get the Intimidate off as well.
Yeah.
So it would be okay. But then, Gudra's a Dragon type. Who knows what its other moves are? It could have a Dragon type attack. And if he makes that
probably
prediction,
has a Dragon type move.
Yeah, right. So far we've seen Thunderbolt and Sludge Bomb. So, yeah, there's 2 other slots, assuming it's Assault Vest.
Talking about this Gudra pick, I'm growing more fond towards it the more I see.
Yeah.
He just has so many moves that are good.
He does.
His stats are okay.
Well, I like running Weakness Policy to mitigate that. Oh, okay, so we do see the Dragon Falls, just like we predicted. Gunner trying to predict the Salamence coming in, and we see the Wood Hammer as well in that same slot. I think Gunner was just covering all of his bases.
He doesn't really need to deal with Celesteal.
No.
I mean...
Celesteela.
Celesteela.
Okay.
La.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, but we do see the Heavy Slam, and that would have been nice if that Gastrodon has Protect. I wonder if that's AV as well.
Wow.
It probably is. But we're going to see the Tapu Bulu Feint. Not much can really take a... but you know what? That Beast Boost is going to help. Yeah, so that's going to make the Gudra do even less damage.
Hopefully that Arcanine is physical.
No, it wasn't Arcanine. It was Persian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in the back he's got Milotic and Persian now.
That is worrisome, actually.
Yeah, because really Celesteela doesn't care about its stats being lowered, and Persian's not going to do that much damage. It's got Parting Shot, probably got Snarl. Maybe if it has a physical move, it's something like Foul Play or Dark Pulse. Mm-hmm. But other than that, probably not much. But we do see the Milotic come out. That's a Gunner's side.
Because, oh wow, a Coco coming in. I was expecting what's it
Does
called?
Mence?
Yeah, the Mence.
Well, and now he knows that the Dragon Pulse is there. I'm sure he's skeptical that he can get rid of the Gudra. I mean, it's AV. A Draco Meteor would do a lot, but maybe not enough to KO, and then he would lose his Mence. I'm guessing now here, and he does have the Dazzling Gleam if he wants to try and hit the Gudra. So, you know, Marty definitely is in a tough spot. I think at this point...
Marty's in a tough spot?
Yeah, well,
I would say Gunner way more.
Well, because if he just protects the Milotic, he can Sludge Bomb into Tapu Koko and probably get rid of it. And then he's got is Mence. But my main point is that that Gunner with good play can protect and get a knockout. Because if like Mence comes in, he could just Ice Beam into the Mence, and then really he just doesn't have to worry about Celesteela much, and he can just kind of go to work. But he does switch out. Gunner switches out the what is it called? The Gudra, brings in the Persian. Marty goes for a protect on the Tapu Koko.
No burn.
No burn on the Scald. And we see Heavy Slam go into the Persian, and it does get a knockout, even through the fur coat, so that's good.
And another
beast boost, which, yeah.
On his 2 special Mon.
Gunner letting Marty get those boosts is definitely going to come back to bite him in the end, I think. Now, those Thunderbolts are going to be doing significantly less damage, leading us to, as I expected, a quality double Elite Seed Celesteela Stall Fest. Everyone's favorite. You know, people thought that Legends and Xerneas and Primals were bad. I don't know if they've sat through Celesteela slowly whittling away at HP. We'll have to start telling you our life stories at this point.
I'm sure Gunner is tickled that Celesteela is in this game, because that's what he loves.
Yeah, well, yeah, so okay, so here we see the Dazzling Gleam come out to Gudra, though, not doing a lot. I think that's definitely going to be a life orb. But what's this berry we see? It's a Maranga berry, raising its special defense. That's something you saw in like VGC 15-14 on Celesteela, but I don't think I've seen that yet. And with the Ice Beam and the Sludge Bomb into the Tapu Koko, Gunner is going to pick up the knockout. So it's 2-on-2. And we do see Celesteela get its first set of Leech Seeds up onto the Milotic.
He's really going to need a crit on that Thunderbolt.
Yeah, I don't know, though, because if he can keep... Oh, but you know what? Guess what? Is bad news now that the Salamence is coming out. That's probably a competitive Milotic. So it's going to get a double boost to its special attack stat.
And Melodic has recovered, maybe.
Probably. Well, we can be honest. You know this team. You practice with Gunner. You guys
I've only played like one set against him, so I don't remember.
So we see the Intimidate. Yep. We do see the Competitive, which is going to raise his special attack stat by 2 stages, which counteracts the double beast boost on Marty's side. So Scald's going to be hitting for a normal amount of damage again, which is nice.
And the problem here is Salamence is faster than Gudra, so it's going to have to be
he really needs to get rid of that Milotic like ASAP, though.
Yeah.
So let's see. Milotic goes for the recover, though. That Marty may have lost his chance to get rid of it with that special defense boost. We did see the Mence went for a flamethrower, so unless we have a mixed Mence. Oh, and Gudra's Sap Sipper, which the attack raise doesn't really matter, but what that means is that Marty's not going to be able to whittle away the Gudra. He's going to have to Heavy Slam it away, unless he can get rid of it with the Salamence, which, at this point, maybe that's the better option? Well, no, because Milotic can just recover. Oh god, they're really going to make us sit through this.
Yep, this is happening.
This is happening.
This is happening.
This is VGC 17, everybody. It's nice, it's slow, it's methodical.
It's Celesteela.
It's Celesteela.
It's Celesteela.
Yeah. So at this point, I imagine...
Did you get that life story like written out? Are you ready to pull that out?
Yeah, I'm ready. In the gloves, 3 log cabins.
And I think everyone's matches are all done too.
But we see Marty's Z move now. Oh, and it's Devastating Drake. Probably my favorite Z move.
That is
I love the hand. Yeah, I'll get that Dragon's Maw. So Salamence is gonna go power up with its full force Z move, Devastating Drake. Pretty sure, like, yeah, he's gonna fly through the air. It's like a Kamehameha wave. It's like a Dragon Fist, right? So it sends the dragon out.
Yo, this animation is sick. I actually have never seen it.
So he's gonna get rid of the Gudra. Probably not a bad idea. So yeah, Marty's basically they're big.
Oh no!
They're gonna stall us out.
It's gonna be Melodic versus Celesteela.
If it goes to 50 minutes, then whoever wins this one game will win. Sorry, that was an answer to our players. So for those that don't realize...
Is the whole set 50 minutes?
Yeah, the round is 50 minutes. So if they only get this one game in and it takes them 50 minutes, then that's... Whoever wins this this, whoever ends the game with more HP is the winner. Is basically how that happens. So
here we go, boys.
Here we go. What would be really nice is if, well, because it depends. Because if my logic didn't have the competitive boost, there'd be no way. And it depends, because Marty can just set up subs, I think, and like, I think that Gunnar would probably eventually lose this game.
I don't think he has sub. I think he would have set up sub a long time ago.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see next turn. But basically, what it comes down to is if Gunnar can't make sure he has more HP, like if he runs out of recover, he'll probably run out of recover before Marty runs out of protect and other things, assuming he has sub.
These are the point in your life where you're like, wow, I really wish I used PP up on all my mons.
Yeah, that, or I really wish I had. What we saw in London, for those that were watching, you saw answers like Parasong. Wolf Glick was using Parasong on his Polytoad, so he'd have his last, he would be sure he had 3 mons, and he would Parasong and could still switch out while you just had Celesteela there, and eventually it went down. So the real question is, though, is if Gunnar... Okay, so it's Flamethrower, so it's Leech Seed, Flamethrower, Heavy Slam, Protect. So he doesn't have Substitute. So Gunnar could eventually win the game here, but the concern is he has to end the 50 minutes with more HP than Marty Celesteela. Otherwise, it'd probably be in his best interest to just forfeit so he could squeeze in those last 2 games and try to get a clean victory. Because if he runs out of recovers, then he's just going to be wasting his own valuable time.
Yeah.
Hint, Gunnar. Gunnar thinks he's winning it.
It's interesting because this is a burn war, because Flamethrower can burn 30%, I think, and
no,
so
it's
can
10%.
Is it
Scald
10?
is 30%.
Okay, so the odds are in Gunnar's favor, but I mean, when it's a stall war,
burning, yeah, but we're so
10% doesn't really matter in a stall war.
Do you want to watch this? I bet I can predict the future. Gunnar's gonna go for a recover. Marty's gonna go for a Flamethrower.
Oh my god.
Maybe he'll go for a Heavy Slam to try and get that burn, or Flamethrower to try to get the burn.
See, this is why I don't run these kind of teams, because then this doesn't happen.
Right. Okay. So oh, look at that! I'm psychic. Call me Sabrina. I mean, that makes sense.
Burn.
I am. I guess what we could talk about instead while we watch this kind of thing happening. I could go ahead and plug myself. For those that don't know, I'm the editor-in-chief of a website called the SaffronCityPost.com, and we're a VGC resource site where we'll have news and articles about VGC 15. You can come, learn and keep up with the scene, and yeah, because we're gonna have a lot of space to fill. But yeah, this is I think something that a lot of players are afraid of. In this format is ending up in these situations and forcing the games to go on for 50 minutes and holding up the rest of the tournament and possibly not even getting the win after spending all this time and not even getting to play.
Is long,
right.
And how many times can this happen?
Right.
Like quite a few.
What's impressive is that no one's getting burned. You think there was a Tapu Fini on the field or something. If Marty gets the burn first,
oh my gosh!
Well, if that's 10%, it's all right. You sound really upset, personally upset about this.
They need a burn, dude.
I almost think it might be better to try and get the free. Well, no, Flamethrower would just get rid of the freeze.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna see another recover from Gunnar, and another Flamethrower from Marty, and then a protect, and then a scald, and then another scald, and then a Flamethrower, and then another recover.
Oh man! Burn. Burn!
No, everyone wants to burn.
Scald only has 10 PP too.
Scald.
Yeah.
What did you say, Scald?
Scald.
See, that's how you know. That's how you know that this is an interesting game of VGC, is when I have to question about how you pronounce a certain move.
Well, I mean, I've got that AZ accent,
I guess this would be
Arizonans have an accent.
This would be the very first game I commentate in VGC 17. Is this at the hands of 2 of my friends?
Oh yay! That are both interesting people for doing this.
Yeah. Oh,
but this is the name of the game.
No, I know, and yeah, you're playing to win, so obviously you're not gonna not go for something like this because it's boring to watch, So you can't. You may complain a little bit that it's boring, but it's what you play with the way you win. So
it's like when you come down to a really good chess match and you only have both of your kings or something like that.
I'm pretty sure if you have a chess match that's just the kings, then it's a dead game, because kings can't get next to each other.
Okay, thank you.
A king and a pawn.
Maybe I don't know too much about chess.
Well, you're friends with Gunnar. Gunnar plays chess.
But like,
since we have time to tell you,
come down to your last resources and realize that both of you have like similar options, and that just goes to show that they both played this well.
Right.
You know, like multiple times. If you heard my commentary, I was like, oh, go for this hit here, it'll kill.
Right. KO.
But sometimes not killing is the option. KOing. Sometimes not KOing is the option.
Yeah, and that's true. You know, I think though in this format I know, but I think like in this format, like you said, like it means that they played good. At the same time, it's good that they both have a potential to win the game in their favor. However, I think a sign of a really good player in VGC 17 is someone who doesn't let themselves end up in this situation, who closed the game out earlier. Oh, we finally get the burn.
Let's go.
So maybe that'll make a difference. Honestly, I kind of doubt it.
Was that a crit?
Yeah, that was a crit. So we have all kinds of RNG happening on in this round. Finally, we might get inched slightly closer to a winner. Milotic is ending up lower. And again, Gunnar seems convinced that he'll be able to end the game with more HP than the Celesteela. But I'm kind of skeptical because I don't think he's brought that Celesteela down below 75% once.
I'll be honest with you. I have seen Gunnar in this situation many, many times.
This exact situation?
And he always wins somehow.
I get it. I mean,
I'm telling you.
It's good that you have faith, but look at it now. Usually, Gunnar had at least a turn before he could recover.
Is that another crit?
No. Yeah, it is. Wow, good eye.
What the heck?
But so the thing is, like, it's slowly, like, more damage is coming off than is being recovered eventually. So, like, before, Gunnar had at least 2 turns to skull. Now he's going to have to recover again after just having recovered.
But, like, I don't know.
And their time is ticking down, too.
The idea of Gunnar getting a crit here would be way more beneficial because he has a boost, and then he has 2 times boost on special defense. So that negates the 2 times special defense.
Oh, yeah, if Gunnar could get a crit with his skull, then he might actually, it would do a lot of damage. Yeah. But odds of that happening are you know.
I mean, this guy. I mean, Marty.
What time are we at on the timer for the round? We're just getting. We're at 22 minutes, so only 20. I can't do math. 22 minutes left. Okay, so we have 22 minutes potentially of this, unless these guys run out of their time. So, you know, the other funny thing is that, you know, all the other players are here getting rowdy. So
I know, like,
they want to play.
This is their first tournament.
Yeah, for a lot of these guys. So basically, what we did is Habib here is active in the local Smash community, and is partnering with this SAK Gaming Lounge. Is generally they mostly play Smash here, right?
Fighting games and Smash.
Yeah, so we're trying to move them a little bit in the Pokemon direction, and a lot of these people are new and are trying to learn. So this is a lot of their first tournaments. So I'm pretty sure that they're raring to go. But everyone is people aren't used to this kind of thing in Smash. There's a hard timer and games are usually pretty short. So
yeah, you have like 6-minute matches, best 2 out of 3. Like only 30 minutes per round, basically. So
what's interesting there, though, Gunnar, I'm wondering if he's running really low on recovers because or scalds because he just protected. So that means he's probably trying to conserve PP somewhere. But seriously, the second Gunnar runs out of recover is the second he loses.
I'm actually seeing a really hard time for Gunnar to win.
Yeah, see, now you understand.
Yeah.
Especially with the 2 boosts. If he didn't have those 2 boosts on the Celesteela, he would have had a way to win with the competitive. But really, Gunnar should forfeit because at this point, he's being stubborn and there's probably no way he's going to win. But, you know, it's his prerogative for trying. But really, the problem is, and this is something the players are going to have to learn, you're going to have to be able to know when you're truly beat, because if you forfeit, instead of getting trapped in a stall war like this, assuming it's game 1, that still gives you 2 more games to adjust, try and get rid of the Celesteela earlier, more aggressively, and not end up here in the first place. But at this point, every minute Gunnar spends recovering with his Milotic is another minute he loses in games 2. And if he loses this, he'll need to win both games and quit. And at that point, Marty can just stall things out. You know? So I'm surprised that Gunnar is holding tight, but he seems determined. And It's hard to get in the way of a Pokemon player and his determination.
Yep.
Apparently.
Well, there was a show. Oh yeah, Undertale. You would save and it'd be like, it fills you with determination.
Okay.
Did you not play Undertale?
I didn't play it. Finish Undertale.
Oh.
I had surgery and I was gonna buy. I bought it to play. Oh, so Gunnar gets the crit, and that does do a lot of damage. But if Gunnar can double crit Marty, like Marty double crit Gunnar, that's a mouthful. He might be able to get the win, but the odds of that are happening are like ridiculous. That's like Conan Thompson triple protect ridiculous.
What if he gets like right before the timer, he gets a crit, and then it just nukes his health and he wins?
I don't know. I'd cry. I'd laugh. I'd feel something.
Hilarious. And he's gonna go for the protect here. Ooh, maybe the secret play of not protecting, expecting him.
Oh, okay. Wait. Someone's forfeiting? It's Marty. Marty's gonna forfeit? I guess he was worried eventually he would get too low. So, anyway, Marty's going to forfeit round 1. Which, interesting, I kind of thought that he was still going to be able to pull that out even with the crit. But, you know, just like Gunnar was convinced he was going to win, Marty maybe thought he would better go into game 2 and 3 and try and get those wins now. But now the problem is they only have 20 minutes to finish both of these games. But the other thing, the other thing here, though, is that if they play this game and it goes and Marty wins, while the round time comes out, they're going to go to sudden death, which will be the first time anyone in Arizona played sudden death, unless Chase did it in London, which I don't know. But okay, we're getting ready to go into game 2 here. How do you think these players are going to readjust or need to adjust their teams for this next round?
Gunnar needs more answers to Celestial. I think he's definitely going to bring Arcanine this time.
Yeah, he needs a more reliable. And Persian didn't do anything, really.
Persian, yeah.
So,
that's the thing when you have these like really nice, like kind of gimmicky mons. It leads you to want to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to try this out. Yeah. But sometimes it's just not worth it, you know?
Yeah. So now we're getting into team preview here, same mons, and I think. You know, the question here is Marty going to maybe want to bring Marowak? It's going to be able to touch the Bulu. It's going to be able to redirect Thunderbolts. Obviously, you're going to want to be much more careful of Milotic, and Marty is probably going to want to protect his Tapu Koko a lot more. But Marowak might come in handy. Also, Boomerang would be useful against Arcanine as well. So
yeah, I would see Marowak because
over Gastrodon. Well,
that takes care of like most of Goodra, right? And then it ends up becoming...
the physical side, because Goodra doesn't have much physical defense, so if he can get like a Shadow Bone off, it's neutral, it's still going to do a lot of damage.
Well, he can suck up Thunderbolts, right? And then the other answer he has is Gastrodon for Arcanine. Yeah. Like, Gunnar is down to only like 2 answers for it. Yep. And that's Celestial teams with Marowak, basically. Right. Like, that's what happens.
So let's see how both players adjusted. We're going to see Arcanine and Milotic coming out from Gunnar. It's a nice little water-fire lead. And we're going to see Tapu Koko, and we do see the Marowak here for Gunnar. So, or for Marty. And it's just like we said, Tapu Koko is going to be able to really threaten oh my goodness,
the
Milotic. Thank you.
There you go. Sorry.
Just having a stroke. And then Marowak is going to be able to threaten the Arcanine, although the Intimidate will come into play there. At this point, though, Marty's free to just go for a discharge. It really kind of depends on whether he wants to deal with the spread damage, because Milotic doesn't... Obviously, Electric is super effective, but he really can't afford to lose his Marowak turn 1, so he really needs to get rid of that Milotic, like, today. So, and, like, now. Like this turn. Just kidding. Not this turn, but soon. Meanwhile, Arcanine can't do a whole lot here. It could Flare Blitz the Tapu Koko.
I mean, both of them, it's not very effective against both of them.
Well, no, it'll be neutral against Tapu Koko.
I thought Fire was not very effective against Fairy.
No, my friend, no. This is why you need to play more Pokemon.
Is it the other way around?
Yeah.
Gosh, dang it.
So we see Gastrodon. Actually, that's a fantastic play. It's like you said. Now we're going to be able to see the redirect. Okay, so it's Snarl. All right, that's going to lower the Gastrodon,
great play.
But it's going to do more damage to the Marowak. Not a lot, though. That looks like a 4 or 5 hit KO. But what's nice here is the Storm Drain comes out. He's going to redirect the Water type attack away from the Marowak and raise and raise Gastrodon's special defense, and we see a Shadow Bone go out into the Milotic, chipping it for a little bit of damage.
That was pretty good damage.
Yeah, but you know what? Now I think the question, what
was the berry on Melodic? Was it a special defense?
Yeah, it was a special defense berry. But now what's going to happen is you're probably going to expect Tapu Bulu to want to come out, but the Marowak is very threatening, and that Snarl is going to take 4 more turns probably to get the knockout. And if Bulu comes out, grassy terrain is going to make it even harder because it's going to get healed every so often. So, really, while Gunnar wants to bring out the Bulu to protect his Milotic from this Storm Drain, he's going to have issues. At the same time, if Marty makes a good prediction and goes for an Ice Beam, predicting the switch, that's definitely going to get a knockout at this point because he just got a special attack boost. Although, you know what? He was snarled, actually. So, he's neutral again. But Gudra comes in instead. Yeah, and Milotic's going to go for a recover, probably expecting another attack. And you know what? That's not a bad play from Gunnar because Gastrodon can't really do much to Milotic. And as we saw after an Intimidate, Marowak's only doing so much.
That did decent damage.
Yeah, okay. So Marty was really trying to cover for that Bulu switch in with the Sludge Bomb, which will give Gunnar pause, I think. And now, okay, as far as moves on the Gastrodon, so far we've only seen Ice Beam and Sludge Bomb, and you assume that there's a Water type attack. And then
I mean, I don't see where he has answers for Marowak here. Like, I don't know. I don't think Gudra has any, like.
No, we saw Dragon Pulse does okay damage. I've used this team. Dragon Pulse actually does okay to Marowak. It's probably like a 2. Well, no, that was after weakness policy, I think. So it's gonna be tough. We're going to see the Ice Beam go into the Marowak as we...
Yeah, he really needs to kill this Marowak.
That did okay, little bit of chunk. And the Dragon Pulse also into the Marowak is going to do... Let's see. Yeah, see, that's like decent damage.
That's decent.
Now we see the Shadow Bone again going to the Gudra. Because you know what? I think Marty really just wants to get rid of that Gudra. Because that gave him so much problems last time. I think he's confident that he can answer the Bulu, that he can answer the Arcanine. He really wants to get rid of the Gudra so he can protect the Celesteela, assuming he has it. That that would be his 4th Mon. He doesn't have the Mens.
Gets a free switch in here, which is nice.
Right, which is probably going to prompt the Bulu. But the problem here is, can Marowak get the one-hit KO with the Flare Blitz? Actually, you know what? Can the Marowak live an Ice Beam from my lot?
That's my question here.
And actually, Marty or Gunnar could just honestly double into the Marowak slot, and if the Ice Beam doesn't do it, a Grass Hammer or a Wood Hammer will.
That's
and
true.
The Gastrodon, but then he has to worry about the Gastrodon getting a Ice Beam off onto him, and that would actually be really bad news.
It's not too bad because he doesn't have the boost anymore because of Snarl.
Right.
So he's at neutral right now.
Yeah. Bulu's not that big on the special D side though.
Yeah. But, you know, having a full health Bulu is always good.
Right.
I'm expecting maybe a double protect, actually. Because...
Well, it looks like what we get is the Gastrodon coming out, which now that means Marowak is not safe from the Scalds.
The Celesteela.
Sorry, I don't even know what I said. But we do see the Ice Beam come out onto the Marowak. Does it survive? It lives with 1 HP. It doesn't outspeed, or the Bulu outspeeds, but it attacks the Celesteela. He did not. So now we're gonna find out. Does the Flare Blitz get the knockout?
That was 1 HP, by the way.
I know, 1 HP. That's crazy. Okay, the Flare Blitz comes in. Oh, and it does. Marowak is so unbelievably strong with that thick club doubling its attack.
That's
recoil
crazy.
Is gonna take out the Marowak, but now all Gunnar has is the Arcanine and the Milotic against the Celesteela, the Gastrodon, and the Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko, honestly, at this point, can just discharge next to the Gastrodon, and Gunnar's gonna have a really hard time stopping that. Plus, the electric terrain will be up for the majority of the game, probably boosting the electric type attacks. Although now he actually just brings out the Gastrodon.
Well, he wouldn't want to... Oh, I guess if he had Tapu Koko and Gastrodon out, yeah, he could keep discharging, but he wouldn't want to discharge all his cells.
No, but he could discharge and switch into Gastrodon.
Yeah.
But now the question here is that we're probably going to see water type attacks going onto the Arcanine. Well, it tries to get rid of the Celesteela.
This looks...
slow?
This looks like it's nearing a checkmate in this situation. Because...
Yeah.
Or at least...
He's using so many chess turns.
Yeah.
It's nice. So we do see the protect from the Celesteela, probably against trying to protect from a fire attack. But Gunnar's actually just going to go for the Snarl, try and make sure his Arcanine is able to survive this Gastrodon. And I guess it all depends on how it plays out. He actually was just content to Ice Beam. We see a Muddy Water come out, though, from the Gastrodon, so it's going to hit both sides of the field, possibly going to reduce accuracy at the same time. Nobody looks like they got the drop, and we do proc the Moringa Berry, which is going to make things a lot harder for the Tapu Koko as well.
Yep.
So now, and we see the Grassy Terrain heal the Arcanine. I really think switching in Tapu Koko would have been the play to just try and get that power offense down. Arcanine wouldn't have lived a lot.
He has no reason to. He's already in a very advantageous position.
Yeah, but the problem is he's under the gun. He needs to get this win quick, because I don't think he wants to go to sudden death. So he really needs to get things moving, and that's the hard part is, players, it's smart for this one game, but in the grand scheme of things, I think he needs to win faster. But he's gonna switch in the Gastrodon, bring in his Tapu Koko. I wonder how safe that is. Depends on what's coming his way. Maybe he's predicting attacks going into the Celesteela, but a Snarl is going to come out, which will not be great for the Tapu Koko because it's going to lower its defense, make it even harder to knock out that Milotic. Not going to matter much for the Celesteela. Ice Beam coming out onto the Celesteela, maybe fishing for a freeze. Does okay damage. We see Leech Seeds coming out. Again, makes sense to get that on the Milotic. The less that attacks, probably the better.
Yeah, because Milotic is one of the bigger threats here.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially since now that it had that Moringa boost, it's not going to be that easy for Tapu Koko to knock it out.
Gunnar needs to take Tapu Koko quick, because
but he just got Snarled. He switched into a Snarl, so it's a -1. And if he gets another Snarl, then it's a -2. And Arcanine's not going to take that much damage from a discharge. So if Gunnar can just keep snarling, honestly, he might even be able to just make the Tapu Koko useless. So it really comes down to, a crit would be really nice for Gunnar too. So yeah, so we're going to, like I said, see, and this is where he ended up anyway, so it would have just made sense to originally bring out the Tapu Koko, do this play 5 seconds ago.
It'll be interesting because he also has a 30% chance on.
Oh, and now we see the Morning Sun making it even harder for Marty. Because the
Gunnar with these recovery moves, dude.
Yeah. Oh, but maybe actually might have been smart because now the Gastrodon gets the boost from the Storm Drain because there was no Gastrodon on the field to redirect it, and it's going to get Leech Seed recovery. So that might have been good positioning for Marty. Grant, a Snarl is not going to be great, but at least he won't be going from neutral to attacking with -1. Now he'll be going from +1 to attacking at neutral, doing a lot more to Arcanine, and making sure that Tapu Koko can't take a stab Scald.
Explain the Leech Seed mechanics to me. I thought it was only the grass types that switch in.
No. It's whatever is switched into that slot gets a recovery. So we see a discharge. Let's see how much this does to Milotic. After the Snarl and the boost,
paralysis.
The paralysis will be nice, although it's not as nice as it was because paralysis was nerfed from 1/4 speed to half speed.
The speed isn't really what he was going for. He was going for the para.
Right, the para. So Milotic is just going to recover, and at this point, Gunnar really just needs to stall out. However, Marty has 3 Pokemon, so if Gunnar doesn't win this game before time is called, it will go to sudden death. Muddy Water's going to come out.
It's going to be hitting hard.
Yeah, it's going to hit that Arcanine. Oh, was that a crit, or is that just how much normal does?
I think that's how much it does.
Yeah, and we proc, let's see, probably a Citrus Berry? Yeah. Proc a Citrus Berry on Arcanine. But you know what? If the speed does matter, he's not going to be able to get a Snarl off before Muddy Water goes off. So a Muddy Water plus a Discharge will take out that Arcanine.
Gastrodon's really slow.
It is. It is very slow. So it may be an answer, but it may not be. It all depends. I guess we'll find out. And that's good info for these players if they do go to Game 3 and have time for it. But Gunnar, you're right. Gunnar here, he doesn't really have a way to win.
How much time is left on that timer?
6 minutes left. Yeah, so
this might come down to
sudden death.
Sudden death.
Yeah, at this point, Gunnar should stall the game out to sudden death if he can, because that's the only way that he gets the guaranteed win. Because if he goes down in the next game, they only get 3 turns, then whoever has the most Mon. Oh, but he gets the freeze on the Gastrodon, which doesn't have a Scald to break that. So that's actually pretty bad for Marty. Oh,
with Muddy Water, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he still might, because we don't know if
he could on Thaw. He did get a 1 turn last time, but this turn he doesn't.
No.
But what we did see, though, is that the Gastrodon is slower either way. So it wouldn't have gotten that that Muddy Water off before the Morning Sun. But yeah, I think actually this is so interesting.
Really
we might get a sudden death in the very first match of the very first VGC Underground Arizona 2017.
This is really interesting because this is a really aggressive, like not too aggressive, but like much more aggressive than I don't know, maybe last season. No, last season was pretty aggressive.
Yeah, everything got knocked out in one hit. I mean, half the time.
But this isn't like that defensive of a meta, but we're coming down to the wire on all of these.
It's just because Gunnar has a very defensive team, and Marty's team is bulkier, so a lot of teams are hyper-offensive. Marty's team is not inherently hyper-offensive. However, it is not as... It's prepared to try and take a little bulk, because the answer is, you know, is to be able to pivot and switch around to what's advantageous, but because of that, you're not going to be focused on just hyper offense, getting out damage. So it's when, you know, it's when a immovable object meets a slightly more movable object, I guess. You know, it's slow. Yeah, I think we'll probably take this to time.
Yep.
So it'll be sudden death because Marty has 3 Pokemon, Gunnar only has 2. That's the first tiebreaker. If Marty's able,
so wait, do they play a game 3 or do they just pick one mon?
They play a game, and it's about who gets the first ends the turn with the first knockout. So,
well, Marty is definitely more set up for that than Gunnar.
Yeah. Well, Gunnar has a bulky team.
Yeah, he is bulk, but he has the quicker knockouts with Tapu Koko and
Z-move Gyarados, or not Z-move Mence.
Z-move Woodhammer though.
Yeah, he could, but Mence is faster. So we see Koko switch in for the Gastrodon. Electric Surge back on the field. Oh boy, it's nothing you haven't seen before. But this time, Gunnar at least predicts the switch, gets the Scald off, does get the burn. The crowd is going wild. The lead seed misses, but the Arcanine is paralyzed. This is a crazy game, back and forth. When will it end? 5 minutes, folks.
5 minutes.
Yep. And I'm just at this point grateful for all the Smash players. Fortunately, they have Smash to play while they wait for Pokemon for the next round to start.
That's what we need. We need like 2 competitive metagames, you know?
Get
like,
the same tournament.
Pokemon and like something else. So then while this happens, the Pokemon players have something to do.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, I think we might see our first sudden death, as you've heard us say before. I think at this point Marty just wants to stall things out. Protects on the Tapu Koko. Mylata goes for the Protect.
And this is the first like game that's gone to timer stall that I've seen. I think I've seen Gunnar.
I wonder if Arcanine will finally go for a not a Snarl. Maybe it'll go for a Flamethrower. It won't go for anything. The pair up.
Or the burn up.
Or the burn up. It could have burn up, I guess.
It would be nice because then he'd lose the fire typing against Gastrodon.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe that could be nice. And it would do a lot to the Celesteela, I suppose, but I don't know. Well, you know what's nice though for Marty is he gets the lead seed recovery still. Everything just keeps switching into that slot. Actually now, no matter what slot you switch into, both of these Pokemon are lead seeded, so everyone gets recovered as long as Marty can stay alive. So I think actually that might be Marty's strategy at this point, is he's trying to go take things to timer so that
what's that time?
He can win. Time I think probably like 4 minutes now? Less? 1 minute and 58 seconds, so
only
2 minutes left. So this is how it's going to work. So to both of our players, if they're listening, after the timer's called, you'll have 3 turns to try and close the game out. If at that point the game is not over, whoever has the most Pokemon will win. And at this point, that means Marty. And then from there, they'll go into a 3rd game, which will be sudden death, and the first player to end the turn with more Pokemon than their opponent wins. We finally see the Flare Blitz. I wonder, is that going to be enough to knock out a Celesteela?
Oh, what?
Oh. Is that going to be enough to thaw out a Gastrodon?
I don't think it thaws it out. It does?
It does.
If you do a fire move into it?
Oh, Habib, you've been playing too much Smash.
I am a little bit rusty on my mechanics.
That's okay.
But the mindset is there.
The mindset is there.
The game mindset.
Right, yeah. So that was actually kind of a nice play for Marty. He switches in the Gastrodon, gets the thaw out, now he can attack again. Can Gunnar get another freeze on the Gastrodon? Because now I guess we get to find out. Well, Gunnar's has the Morning Sun. The Gastrodon doesn't have a boost, it's neutral, but a Muddy Water is going to be good damage, you know. Ice Beam coming out into the Celesteela. Does he freeze this? be on... Oh, but he's going to heavy slam, probably the Arcanine. Yep. And now, plus, even after a Morning Sun, that might be enough to take it out. And the para does the Muddy Water hit, though. It has Origin Pulse accuracy. It does double connect. That will take out the Arcanine. Not going to do anything to Milotic, but now at this point, Marty can just wait the couple minutes for the timer to go off, or the minute for the timer to go off.
That crit, though.
Oh!
And an
How many seconds? 20 seconds.
Every time he lost accuracy.
Yes, he's going to get a competitive boost. But it's only 20 seconds, then they're going to get 3 turns. There's no way that Gunner's going to be able to win this game in 3 turns. So,
this is what happens when you just forfeit randomly at the last game. Marty could have had a chance to take that.
Oh, that's time. So players, you now have 3 turns, and that'll be the end of the game. Then we're going to go to sudden death. We're going to get our first sudden death. That's crazy. I guess, yeah. I've never seen a sudden death played.
We were talking about doubles matches and how they're so much faster than singles matches, and that's why we wanted to do doubles matches.
So Gunner just goes and forfeits. Yeah, so now what's going to happen is these players are going to go to sudden death. We'll soon be able to start our next round. So they're going to go ahead into the game, and so the first player to get the knockout end the turn with one more Pokemon. Because it doesn't matter if Marty gets a knockout and then Gunner returns, they keep going. So it's not first knockout. No. It's not till the first person gets a knockout.
It's you have $150 bomb.
Yes, at the end of each turn. Awesome. It depends. So let's see.
You see this Underground? On Patreon? Someone dropped $150
for this.
Yeah, dude. For SAK Gaming.
Okay, let's go, Gaming. Dude. See, Pokemon's good for business. Pokemon is good for business. So we're gonna go into. Wow, look at that. That's cool.
Shoutouts to Steven, though, like building this company up.
That's true.
Let's go.
Yeah. So and thank you. Thank you to Steven for hosting us Pokemon players here at this. This is a new venue for us. It's very nice. We're glad to be here. Hopefully this will be the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. So to answer your question though, Fragor87, VGC Underground is the official competitive Pokemon format, but this is the Underground, and where it's not official. Usually you compete for points and try to get to the hold on, I'm trying to explain the thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's alright, baby. So, anyway, the goal is to get points, and you try to get to Worlds, and there are national and regional events, and I have bunny ears now. And so this is not for that. This is just for good practice and for cash prizes, because the local level events usually are not cash prizes, just the larger ones. So we want to do something a little bit more rewarding for our players in a financial way. So anyway, we're going to go into sudden death. I've never played a sudden death match. I've never seen one played, so I'm not even sure how you prepare as a player. What do you lead with? What do you bring with? For me, I think Salamence, Tapu Koko for Marty seems like pretty good offense. But for Gunner, I mean, that Z move is nice for Bulu, but he's vulnerable. Persian. Yeah, for sure, dude.
Persian.
Bring Persian.
You have Fake Out. You have
maybe.
Parting Shot.
Yes. Does he have Fake Out? We didn't see Fake Out.
You have Parting Shot. You have Foul Play, which does quite a bit.
He has all these things. Oh, this is going to be exciting,
If
folks.
he has Fake
Our
Out.
very first sudden death, first player to end the turn with more Pokemon.
That's smart. Bringing in the Intimidator first.
Yeah, good idea. So, like I said,
both of them.
Tapu Koko.
Tapu Koko, we know, is special, so he has the advantage here because both of those are physical.
Well, no, both of Marty's are special.
Right.
And both of those, well, yeah, Flare Blitz and Woodhammer, so yeah, physical.
I guess Intimidate wasn't really the best idea, because what physical Mon does
Marty have?
Marty have that's threatening?
Not for this, yeah, none.
Not really. Marowak, but...
Yeah. So now what's going to be interesting is, do you think a Z move onto the Arcanine gets the Oko?
Draco Meteor!
Well, so no, not even that, but like what would have been interesting is if he had Bulu in the back, tried to bait out the Z move, switched in Bulu to it, and wasted it. That would have been pretty clever. Don't you think? If he like had the Goodra or something, and it was like, oh yeah, I can get the knockout on that, and then switch into Bulu, waste it, and then next turn returns with a Bloom Doom. Because the thing is, Marty has to watch out. Tapu Koko is not going to handle a Woodhammer very well, so if he doesn't get rid of that and protect and this and that, he could be in trouble.
What's the, is it 3 turns? They have 3 turns.
No, they have as long as the game takes, until one player ends with more Pokemon than their opponent.
Wait, until they knock out one Pokemon.
No, they could both knock out one, and then they could both knock out another, and then they could both knock out the third. So you could concede, it just all has to happen in the same turn. So we see a Protect from the Bulu, and a... Oh, and a Paralysis Thunderbolt into the Arcanine. Does the Draco Meteor? Is this has to be going on to the to the Arcanine because otherwise it wouldn't have shown the animation. So Salamence powering up, full power Z move, going for that devastating Drake. I don't see how that doesn't get the knockout on the damaged Arcanine. That's going to be it.
Marty going for, like, if Arcanine protected there, that would have been...
Well, I don't think Arcanine had protected, yeah, that's going to be the game.
Done. Yep.
That's going to be the game.
Wow.
So Marty wins it in a very long, arduous set. The very first sudden death. Congratulations to Marty. We're going to go on a quick break while we figure out the next round and get everything set up. So we'll be back in. It'll be pretty quick because there's not a whole lot of people here, and these obviously were the last matches. So
yeah.
We'll be back in like 2-3 minutes maybe. So stick around.
Stay tuned.